Hi, I'm Jasmine Nicole. Welcome to the Motivational Mystic, a space for authentic, higher conscious conversations to motivate, inspire, and empower. Thanks for listening. Each week, I'll drop a new conscious raising episode. Let's dive in. Let your soul be the captain of your vessel. Let it be the leader of your life. We want to make sure that we're operating on this earth at a high vibration. To do that, you want to live a life full of optimism, positivity, hope, wonder, creativity, ambition, love, respect, peace, and acceptance. Acceptance is an important one because acceptance means not only accepting others, but also accepting yourself. You don't want to be at a point where you don't accept others or yourself, because then you will find yourself in a position where you feel the need to exert control. The need to have control over others is more aligned with someone who operates from their lower nature. And we definitely don't want to operate from our lower nature. Our spirit won't be able to function at full capacity because you're bogging it down with lower vibrational thoughts, feelings, and actions. For example, someone who is deceptive, manipulative, or maybe just a flat-out liar, those would all be lower vibrational actions. Anger, jealousy, self-doubt, and fear are low vibrational emotions. It's important to be aware of the energy that you are putting out there in the world. Is it a vibrational match for how you want your life to unfold? Do you want to live a positive life of abundance and opportunity? Or do you want to live a life of strife, having to beg, borrow, and steal to make it in life? You don't want to backstab people and then continuously have to look over your shoulder and just looking for your next lick, where you're just becoming this continuous cyclone of chaos. Do you want to get engulfed by the chaos, or do you want to prosper in the light? I know personally, I would choose to prosper in the light. Prosper in peace, positivity, and proceed with love, which is a high vibrational emotion. No one's life is perfect, right? We all go through hard times, but that's why life is a journey and not a destination. You just can't let dealing with hard times keep you down. You can be down, but never count yourself out. Never count yourself out. That's where the importance of resiliency comes into play. Resiliency is a really good attribute, a really good trait to develop within yourself. You are going to be disappointed. You are going to be let down. You are going to fail sometimes in life, but it's all a part of the process. You learn a lesson from it, or the lesson from it, that's meant to be learned. And it's typically learned in retrospect, but in the moment, it's best to just accept it for what it is. Something that didn't work out in your favor. If needed, of course, take the opportunity to vent, to get negative emotions out. There's nothing wrong with that. We are all going to have reactions to negative things or situations occurring in our life. But the point is not to dwell on it. Don't get stuck there. Do not dwell on it. That is the key. You want to align your soul, the captain of your vessel, in a positively oriented direction, energy, and frequency. We want to make sure the vibration we exude in any room we show up in is inviting and not repelling. It's pleasant and not uncomfortable. Someone who is at peace with their self exudes a positive vibration and has a positive effect on the people they interact with. It's funny because oftentimes a person that looks to cause discord or dysfunction in other people's lives don't have peace within their self. So they are just projecting their own inner turmoil and dysfunction onto other people. A bad attitude can be contagious, so don't catch it. Be selective of the energy you allow around you and how much access you give people to you. It's your human right, your free will, to surround yourself with people who are good for your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual growth in all of those areas. So you want to make sure you're exposing the leader of your vessel, the captain of your ship, to positive people, places, and things. Exposing your soul to positive people, places, and things will make it easier to manifest more of those positive experiences in your life. But if you focus on the negative, it will become your comfort zone. You'll just become so desensitized to it that you won't even have awareness or recognition that it's negative. It just becomes who you are. I'm sure no one wants to become bitter, angry, miserable, just not a happy person to be around. I know for me personally, a goal of mine is to grow old and wise. So I don't judge myself. I recognize it's best not to dwell, but to learn from your mistakes. I feel like someone who aligns their spirit with the more positive aspects of life, putting in the time, effort, and work to create a great life for themselves, those are the people that grow old and wise. But the alternative or opposite of that are people who align their spirit to the more negative aspects of life. Those people tend to create more hardships, strife, trials, and tribulations in their life. Through those experiences, they let life harden them, and they don't grow old and wise. They grow old and bitter. And like I said before, I'd rather grow old and wise than grow old and bitter. So it's best to focus your attention on the positive aspects of life, rolling with the punches, having a this too shall pass mindset when dealing with setbacks. And again, it's okay to take a moment to express your feelings if you become let down by something or experience failure. But the important thing, yet again, is not to get stuck there. Don't dwell. You also don't want to project your negative emotions onto other people because you don't know how to deal with whatever life circumstance you're dealing with at the moment. We all experience setbacks, failures, and disappointment. No one is absolved of that. So let your soul be the leader of your vessel, the leader of your being, and make sure you're exposing it to the good things so you can exude a positive energy, a positive vibration, rather than the opposite. I notice people that grow old and wise don't judge theirself. They don't have a judgmental mindset, which I feel is another form of dwelling. If you're constantly in judgment of yourself because something didn't work out in your favor. Maybe it wasn't supposed to. And that's the lesson in itself. Taking the good with the bad in life and seeing what you can learn, apply, and adapt. But that comes with not judging yourself and dwelling on past mistakes. You live and you learn. It reminds me of that old saying that goes, you have to be young and dumb to grow old and wise. You are going to make mistakes, especially when you're younger, and you'll continue to make mistakes all throughout your life. No one is perfect. It's learning from those mistakes that matter, and again, not dwelling on them. Even if the mistake you made is bad, learning from it so you don't do it again is important. Don't take the ego gratification approach and take the stance of, ooh, I got away with it. That's not good. You're not going to learn anything from that. The alternative approach would be, even though I got away with it this time, I made a bad decision, and I'm not going to take any more chances like that. I'm going to learn from it. Learn from your mistakes. Do not sit and dwell on them, because that's not going to do anything but keep you in that low vibrational negative energy, that negative frequency. And that's not good. As I gave a few examples of negative vibrations, emotions, and frequency previously, it's not good to get comfortable in a negative frequency, whether that's from the people you're around, the places you go, or the things that you do. Be very intentional of who you allow access to you and what you expose your spirit to. Especially as you are trying to level up in life, focusing on the positive and manifesting positive outcomes is important. And you have to be very honest and transparent with yourself when doing that. looking at the shadowy parts of yourself, the parts that you sweep away, to not acknowledge, because maybe there's shame or fear there. But you're working on almost like freeing yourself from that shame, because it's like you're holding yourself in bondage. Why would you want to do that? You know, again, as humans, we are imperfect beings, and it's not like we're not going to make mistakes. It's how you bounce back from those mistakes that matter. So if there's anything that you take away from today's message, please let it be this. Strive to grow old and wise, and don't settle for growing old and bitter. And that takes effort and accountability. Learn from your past mistakes. Don't judge yourself, and do not dwell on them. The goal in life should be to grow old and wise, and not settle for growing old and bitter. Well, that's all I had for today, everyone. Until next time, goodbye.